Yeah, hey there, everybody. You're welcome to chapter 18, Lesson 1, and what we're taking a look at here is the time period of the 1960s and 1970s from a perspective other than civil rights. So, if you remember, we had spent a lot of time already talking from, say, the 1950s to the mid 1960s, 1970s, focusing just on African American civil rights. And in chapter 18, we're going to focus on the other groups of Americans that are going to see society change for them, in particular, looking at students, women, and Latinos. And in lesson 1, we're looking at students. So the way we're going to kind of frame this is we're going to call it the rise of the youth movement. And what you need to understand here as we're talking about this is that you have to have the right perspective. You need to realize that what we're talking about here is the baby boom generation, right? So if you remember, the baby boom generation starts out being born here in 1946, and as you can see just over here to my right, it runs just till about 1965. So this period of time, any kid born during that period of time is going to be a part of the baby boom generation. And so what we're considering here, what we're looking at is what happens to these kids as they get older. Right? So that when we hit the 1960s, the first of these kids is just about a mid-teenager, 15, 16 years of age, 17 years of age, 18 years of age. What's going to happen to these kids in the 60s and 70s as they get a little older? And what we'll see is that as they get a little older, we need to we're going to have to begin to examine how they change America with their numbers, with their influence. And what we want to start with here is that this youth movement is focused predominantly on what you can see right here highlighted in blue. The youth movement is focused primarily on white Americans, right? African Americans are fighting for their own civil rights. So white Americans, while there are some that help with African Americans' civil and economic rights, white Americans are focusing on something a little bit different. And what is going to kind of spur this youth movement among white America is this college enrollment group that is kind of fueled by this increase in numbers of young kids at just about the right age. So what I've done here is I have a chart, and it shows college enrollment by type, and at the bottom it shows numbers. So let me just show you what I mean here. I'm going to shrink that and get that out of the way so that we can get a better look at this. I'll put my head up there. There we go. So down below my head, you can see the different years, right? You can see in red, I've highlighted this year, 1949. This is just about when the very first baby boomers are, like 5 years old. And you see kind of an uptick in people going to college. Can you remember why that is? Why all of a sudden, like 1946, 47, 48, 49, we'd have so many more people kind of going off to college? Why that line would be rising dramatically? Can you remember? Search your brain for a sec. What was it? Do 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 do. Oh, screw that. It was the GI Bill. And so we'll begin to see people who served in World War II go to college with the GI Bill. But don't forget, these are older people. They have kids in that 45, 46, 47, 48, 49 range, right? So flash forward 18 years, right around here when we hit like this 1964, 1965 page, and look at just how high and how steep of a curve we see with the number of people attending college. And it just stays steep as more and more white baby boomers come of age for college and they attend. And don't forget, in part, that this is the whole point of seeing these people with their college degrees go off, and what does all that mean, and what does all that look like? Well, by 1960, the first are ready to go to college, right? And this college life that you get it's invigorating. It leads the baby boomers to question their parents. It makes them kind of wonder whether political leaders are telling the truth. Remember all those questions we saw with Vietnam, with issues like the credibility gap Remember, we talked about the Pentagon Papers, we talked about hawks versus doves. This is when we see youths in America, especially white youth, begin to really kind of push the boundaries and the limits here. And so we wanted to give you some examples of what that looks like during the 1960s and 1970s.